What's going on, everybody? It's PapaStones coming back with another video. You know what time it is. It's Market Watch Wednesday. We're going to jump right into this thing here. We got Spark boxes at 85, 90-ish. We got Jump to Light Speed at 75. We got Twilight at 50. And Shadows doesn't even make the front page. That's crazy work. Which is surprising considering how many good Shadows rares there still are. But whatever. I don't know why people are buying Twilight boxes. There is nothing in them, right? Like, it's kind of a rough set, so whatever. They're probably like 80, 85 if I had to guess. Moving on, though, we got Luke Skywalker here at 40. People are back on the Luke hype train. It was down to 30 for a while, back up to 40. Anakin Blue had a decent performance at the sector. Maybe that could be a contributing factor. Hero Blue isn't in a terrible spot currently. The big dog, though, Poe Dameron, we saw this last week. They keep going up, though. We're looking at $44 for these. They were 20. I was gonna say they were 20 for the longest time, and after Django ban and Sabine became one of the top dogs, people got hyped on the Poe train. Poe is also in Han Green, Han 2 Green, I should specify. So maybe there, but it's a crazy price. Falcons, I remember saying this from the original when I thought Django was going to be hit a little bit. These are back to almost 40 as well. There's Han 1 Green on the Pilot Turbo is on Falcons. Quinlan's on Falcons. Falcon's just a fantastic card, so no surprise there. Next up, we got Darth Vader, still sitting at 30. Didn't have much of a showing this weekend, maybe here and there, but still good card. Avengers moving up to 25. That's kind of crazy, to be honest. Also, sorry if you can hear my dryer. I'm not 100% positive if you can or not. You might be able to, but it's running. I'm doing laundry. 25, 26 for Avenger. It's the best hard control piece there is, right? So no big surprise there. Cad Bane at 21. I could see worlds where Cad Bane goes up. I could also sort of see worlds where it goes down, sadly. Like, granted, it's being played right now because of Cad Bane, and Cad Bane is relatively popular at this stage. But looking ahead to the next sets, they're talking about making ground units more healthy, right? And I haven't talked about them on my channel yet. I probably will in, like, my Monday video, I think. Some of the spoilers we've seen for ground units are all so healthy. There's a 1 drop with 5 health. There's pretty much everything we've seen, the lowest health total we've seen is 5. So it kind of starts to hinder Cad a little bit. I'm not saying I would be selling these for sure, but if you're not planning on using them, they might not do much. I could be wrong on that one. That's more of a prediction. Anyways, we got Vigilance at 25. This has been here forever. 20-25 range. Good card, good card. Nothing too crazy to say. Devastator at 20. Got the boom up from Piet. Piet's realistically not doing anything. I don't think any of them converted at sectors to the top 64. Granted, there was the Vader set 1 data vault that made it. That's on devs, but Piet's just kind of, honestly, sadly, negligible, if I have to say what I feel. It was supposed to be like the big thing coming from this set, but it really hasn't done anything. It's too easy to counter because their play pattern is so linear. Next up, we got Luke Skywalker. This is a fantastic card, but I still don't expect it to hold a $14 price tag, if you ask me. It seems very steep, but like I said, Han Pilot's floating around now, right? Like the set 1 Han on the green. It's definitely on this, so it might sit here for a while, but I don't think it should. Hotshot DLs, they are being played in everything for the most part, right? Cad, Quinlan, any deck that plays on the ground and in yellow, they're playing Hot Shot. It's a good card. Cheaper than they were. Super Laser is fine. Boba. We're going to talk about Han here. 1750. It's not too bad considering it's playable. It's legendary from the new set. Good card. Not a bad price tag, to be fair. Darksaber. I wouldn't be surprised if this picks back up in a sense. Maybe it won't, though, just because people are expecting it. But it's a good card, right? It's in Sabine. Sabine just won. Sabine's performing well. It's very represented. I could see this going back up to 25 or so, but maybe not. Back to Boba, though. It's basically a Cad Bane unit as of right now. I'm thinking, honestly, maybe next set, if they don't print anything like it, it might be good because it'll deal with some of these higher health units. Granted, I could just be living on the Boba hype train, but like I said, there's a lot of things with 5-6 health on the ground, and Boba can at least answer those things with his ability, so worth keeping in mind. Planetary Bomb, same concept, it's repeat. Don't care too much. Moving on to the second page here. Hey, we finally got Shadows boxes on the second page at 80. Realistically, if I was buying a box right now, I'd be buying Shadows boxes. I'm not sure at all why these are on this page. Literally, every card we've looked at for the most part that's good and has a decent price tag on the front page is from Shadows. I mean, not Falcons, or Luke's, right? But like, think Poe Dameron, you got Kylo's tie up here, you got Darksaber, you got Hot Shot Blaster. Then you get into like the rares and stuff. You got like Bazines, you got Wreckers, you got things like that. I have no idea why these boxes are on the second page. If you're buying boxes and you don't need, like, if you're just buying to buy or buying to make profit, I honestly think Shadows is the best bang for your buck right now. But enough of my little tangent here. Kylo's tie, still at 24, 25. It's not too crazy. It was higher, obviously, when Jango is dominant, but still a good price for a 3-2 spaceship, right? It's just a good statted ship. Darth Vader, it is a Force unit for next set. However, I don't see a world where this card is good next set, and right now it's not really doing anything. So I'd maybe be looking to move these, but that's just my opinion. 6 cost 7/7 do nothing is kind of underwhelming for the most part. And if you're planning on it next set, right, like, it's a good ECL target, it's a 7/7, but if you're playing it in a Force deck, you probably are playing a Force base, like one that can generate the Force, right? So I really don't see a world where it's fantastic, but that's just me. Snoke, good card. It's down a bit, so there is that. Granted, same kind of concept as what we were just talking about with more higher health units coming out. This could get a little worse. I mean, still, -2/-2 is nothing to scoff at, though, so it could get better also, just because, sure, it might not kill as many units as it does now, but it also turns their 3/5s into 1/3s, you know, like, it's definitely nothing to scoff at. I think it's a good card. Great Dragons being this cheap is also not a bad idea. Maybe if games start to go later, Great Dragon gets its play back, and also it's an 8 cost in Han, so there is that. Home one, it's a decent card, right? It's okay. We're gonna skip by it though. Devastator, I haven't actually seen it in that much action. Like I said, I think it was mostly a Jango card. It's still a good card, but it was definitely predominant in Jango. And sure, it's in the Boba, the new Boba burn deck or whatever, but if you've watched me talk about it, I think that deck's bad. It's very overrepresented for what it is. It does not convert well. It statistically in events, it's just kind of, I think the deck isn't very good. Ahsoka, on the other hand, is one of my top 10 cards of all time, just because the force tag, the discard, the whole package of this card is insane. I could see this holding 10 forever, right? It's also from the newest set, so we have 2 years with it. There's something to be said to that. I think this card will retain its value throughout time unless it gets power crept, right? Now there are 2 of them. It's not doing a whole lot. It's got its problems, so it's hard to say for sure, but there could be a world where it's playable next set if you want big force units early. Maybe something to keep an eye on. $10 is a little steep still for what it is, for something that's not seeing any play, but No Glory Only Results at $10 is also realistically probably going to stay around here. Sure, it's just a better Vanquish, but it deals with problem cards, right? It deals with Chewbacca, it deals with Lurking Tie. On certain things, you get when defeated. If those start to pop up more, No Glory is just too versatile, right? Like, on paper, it's just a better Vanquish, but it has so many more applications that make it a great card. So I could see that also holding relatively well. Cunning, still good. There's not a lot of double yellow going on. Han yellow, sadly, like I thought for sure with the DJ ban it would still be pretty playable, and it was. There were some people on Han yellow. I think it made top 8 also. There was a Han yellow in top 8. But certain matchups, the DJ was irrelevant, right? You didn't need it, and that was fine, right? The deck was still good. But in the matchups you need DJ, you really need DJ. So not a lot of people on Han yellow. Still a good deck, I think. Just have to go faster, honestly. I think turn it into a pure aggro deck, which is crazy, but still. Next up we got Sabine's Masterpiece. This one, on the other hand, I could see a world where it doesn't stay this high. There is prestige editions of this card too, which also kind of hinder its value if you ask me, but it's a good card. It's realistically best suited in ECL, right? Like Sabine Masterpiece ECL with the green unit on board is like a blowout. Other than that, though, it's kind of a mid card. So, moving on, next page here. We got Command at 10, Aggression at 10. All double aspect stuff is valuable. You could need them. We're getting more sets. They only get better with time. Granted, you only have 8 to 12 more months. I forgot how they said they were rotating, if it's end of year or just when the 7th set comes out, but 8 to 12 months. A bunch of showcases that we do not talk about. Iden, good card, kind of mid. Hey, I can pre-sale buy a box for 101. It's not a terrible price tag, to be honest, for pre-sale, but still, I'm waiting. U-Wing, the hill I will continue to die on. 350. It's seen some action. There's green decks floating around pretty heavy right now. Most of them were on U-Wing, either in the main board or in the sideboard. U-Wing is fantastic, and next set, like I said, with all the overstated stuff we're getting, you'll be able to grab more value for your 7 costs. On to the next page here, though. We got K2 at $4. That's kind of below where I think it should be, but that's just me. Wrecker also at 4 to 5. It's good shadows rare, holding its value semi well. Same with Maul here at $5. And like I said, if I was buying boxes right now and I didn't need anything, right? Like me personally, I'd probably buy Jump to Lightspeed because I haven't opened, or I guess I haven't bought a single box of it. I opened some from Win-A-Box, but I haven't bought in a single box, so my Jump to Lightspeed collection is atrocious. But if I was literally just buying for value, I would be buying Shadows 100%. Turbo Laser Salvo, not really seeing much besides Piet, so unless you're playing Piet, I don't think it's necessary to have currently. Weekly play Han foil 30, 28. Let's see what else we got. Darth Maul from Shadows, we're looking at 8. This still has the same concept problem from my original standpoint on it. It's only a really good ECL target, and it is Force, right? And Darth Maul will probably get some support with it being a spotlight deck, so it might get some better love, but it's still going to be, because you're not going to be playing ECL unless there's other, relatively easy ways to manage gaining the Force without the base. You'll probably end up on the Force style base and not on ECL, and this card loses a lot of its value when it's not ECL'd out because it's just a 5-drop that does nothing. What else we got? Sparks at 4, Stolen AT Haulers at 7. Kazuda's not really doing anything. One of the Han lists was on this. Keep that in mind. But I don't know if I would say they're necessary pickups currently. Tech's still a good card. Jedi Lightsaber. It's probably one of the better cards for Force decks, right? It specifically synergizes with Force units, so for $4, it's a little more than I realistically want to pay, but I think it's viable if you do want to buy them and get ahead of the curve, just in case it's the best option lightsaber they have. Kiadi Mundi is a Force user for $4. I don't hate that buy by any means. Same with Ahsoka, it's only $3. Granted, I think this card's bad, but it is a Force user. It has situational ambush, I guess. I mean, I'd like to find something good about this, but I kind of just hate this card. I also just realized, looking over at my other monitor, that I am in the top left, not the bottom left, but hopefully I don't skew any of the stuff too bad for you guys. Let me know if you like me in the top corner. If you're still here, I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments. Red 3 at 5. Ayala, same concept, Force user, but same problem as Maul. If you're playing a Force user that's an ECL target, and you're probably not playing ECL, that's kind of painful. So, Grievous, I don't know. I think Grievous gets phased out. Like, I wanted to die on the hill, right? I really did, because I think 4/4 is like the best stat line we've seen for an aggressive stat line on a 3-drop. However, I think next set we're just going to be looking at higher health stuff where Grievous's 4 attack and 4 health will not matter at all. So, I don't know. Unity of purpose. I got to talk about this because people still have this high up, and that Rex deck is bad. I'm just gonna be honest, like, I don't think it's any good. It's Unity of purpose or bust. The deck is super bad without it, and even when you do it, people know it's coming, so they play around it for the most part. It's not good. Moving on though, we're gonna go to the next page here. Victor Leader at 4 and awkwardly no picture isn't too crazy. I think that's a good card. Dark Raid's down to 2. Checks. Banned. Hey, 4 cause finally. This card was $1 for the longest time, and Sabine was still relevant, and it made no sense. And now that Sabine wins an event and is more represented again, they're just like, oh yeah, 4 cause for sure, at least $3. I could see this being a $5 card for sure. I don't get it. Gotta click on this just because I'm curious. Darksaber Hyperspace is only $2 more, so if you need your Darksabers and you're planning on using them, pick up the Hypers. You might as well. What else we got? Commandeer. Like I said, this card, when Jenga was around, for sure, like the top card from the set, I would say. Maybe not the top, but one of the top cards from the set. Now that Jenga's gone, pretty irrelevant. So I think the card doesn't do enough. And plus, most of the decks that are on good spaceships are piloting said good spaceships, so It's not really worth it. We got Endless Legions. This one's funny for all those Yoda enthusiasts. There is this. Keep that in mind. Moving on, we go to page 8 here. Sneak attack at 2 to 3. Like I said, same kind of concept. We're not, with Django gone, we're realistically not in like a sneak attack space beatdown meta. Granted, we are seeing, like I said, those Han decks, and there was like some Mando decks. We saw some Vader decks. There is places for sneak attack, but I don't think that it's as prevalent as it currently or previously was. We got Kira, still a good card. General's Blade. This might be a good pickup from Twilight, just because if the attaching is a Jedi, granted not all Force users are Jedi, but there will be definitely a handful of Jedi in the next set, right? So keep that in mind when it comes to General's Blade. It's only $1. If you don't own them, you should probably, just as like a safety precaution. Same with Fallen Lightsaber, I think, because this is one of the better lightsabers, the non-specific ones, right? The things that can attach to any Force unit and get benefits can be super beneficial. Me personally, I am an upgrade hater, I will say that. But still, if there was a time to have lightsabers, this would be the time, right? Bazine has went down quite a bit, it appears. Sorry, I didn't check my phone, thought my wife was calling. We're at like $2 to $3. Still super played though. Granted, once Django got the axe, the hero definitely the meta definitely shifted into like a hero meta, right? Like Sabine, Han, Quinlan. There is still Cad and Kira's popping up. Those would, I would say, like the top 5. Bosk in there, top 6 probably. But it's definitely very hero focused, I think. So maybe that's why Bazine's kind of went down, but can't say it with 100% certainty there. Kylo Ren still thinks bad. It is a Force user though. Keep that in mind. Mace Windu. I don't know. I already have mine. I don't know if I should say you should buy him or not. It is a good card though, right? Nothing else too crazy here. A bunch of retrains. Force Lightning could get its time in the heyday, right? Deals 2 damage. I mean, basically, the way this reads, if you have a Force user, it's pay 3, deal 4, 4, deal 6, whatever it may be. Could be worth keeping around. Definitely $3 isn't too outlandish for a legendary by any means either. So, hey, you got the promo Han for 20-ish. People are selling these. Apparently, they don't want them. They just wanted them to sell them. Honestly, I think this looks bad. Like I said, I don't hate the borders generally. I just don't like the picture. To be real, like his head looks disproportionate, but now I'm just kind of being nitpicking, right? But it is what it is. Last but not least, we got Chewie at $2 to $3 and Change of Heart at like 4. We're gonna wrap this up though. We hit our 10 page. We'll check out the boy though for sure. Got Tarful at 80 cents. If you watched the recent episode of trying to win on every leader, I did get a drop of Tarful. The worst part is I apparently read the card wrong, and I didn't realize it was doing damage equal to the damage it took back. I had read it wrong apparently every time I'd read it, but it is what it is, you know. Still the Market Watch icon. If you got hyperspace Tarfuls, they're sick. If you got hyperspace foils, even better. But that's all I got for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to drop a thumbs up if you did. Comment down below. Let me know what you're buying, what you're selling, whatever it may be. I'm always here to chat. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.